Hey everybody, I'm John Granado. You can hear me mornings on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5 on the bench. That's Josh Jordan. You can hear him weekends on Moneyline on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. If you haven't hit a subscribe yet, please do so you get all of our content here at SportsMap HOU. Josh, now that the season's officially over, Carlos Correa, free agent. Correa said he would speak with the Astros, but I don't know. I don't think he's going to re-sign. I think he plays his last game here in Houston. Now that we know how the season played out, should the Astros sign Carlos at any cost?
You know, I'm kind of going back the other way on this one, John. We talked about this a few weeks ago, and I was all for, paying Correa, and I'm okay with the amount per year, but it's the length of the contract, and I've heard you talk about that. Jim Crane has some concerns about, an 8-year, a 10-year deal. What I noticed from watching these playoffs is you got to have a few guys because, like Jordan slumps in the World Series, but he was great in the ALCS. You got to have a group of guys that you can count on because you can't, two guys, you can't count on them going through the playoffs and being hot the whole time. So I think the foundation of the team, they need to have several guys that can hit like they can. And I just don't know if you give all that money to Carlos Correa if you're going to have that. But I do trust Click, and I trust Jim Crane. If a deal is to be made and they pull the trigger, I think it's the right deal. But if they walk away from the table, I'm going to trust them that it was just too much.
Yeah, I'm okay with the philosophy that they have. I'm okay with 5 years is the max because that's what they've done so far. And Jim Crane, well, apparently he offered, 6 years, apparently 120, but that was as far as he was going to go, and that's $20 million a year. Listen, it's Carlos Correa is going to get more, but I will say this, he had a great year, and he only upped his OPS 4 points to 837. 837. Carlos Correa is great. He's one of the best defensive shortstops I've ever seen. One of the best defensive shortstops with that gun and the way that he plays the position. Great teammate, great leader, and all of that stuff. But I ain't into, Josh, I'm just not into 10-year deals. I'm just not.
But here's the thing that worries me, though, John, and we basically agree on this, but they are going to bring in some other free agents, you would assume, with all the money that's going to be coming off the books. And you got to figure those guys are going to want those type of contracts too. So if it comes down to giving one of those long deals to Carlos or somebody else, obviously I'd rather Carlos. But can the Astros keep using this philosophy with the way baseball's changing and these contracts are exploding?
Well, I don't know that you're ever going to sign a big-name free agent like a Machado, like a Harper, like a Correa, like Tatis, or any of these guys that are getting these long-term. I just don't think that's going to be. And you know what? So far, the Astros' philosophy is right. Don't give 10-year contracts. None of them worked out. Zero. None of them. So why do that? We saw Alex Rodriguez, how they regretted it. We saw Pujols, how they regretted it. If the Astros don't sign any of those huge name free agents, oh well, they're just not going to. You know what? Continue to get homegrown talent. And you know what? Continue to drink Coors Light wherever you are watching your team. I don't care what the team is. It's the official beer of whatever you're doing. Make it a Coors Light. Cold, clean, crisp, refreshing. It is the world's most refreshing beer. If you're looking to get an official beer, I got one for you. Mine. On anything I do, it's Coors Light. Come on, baby. Climb on. If he does leave, Josh, where do you not want to see Carlos Correa sign?
I thought about this. I saw an article in the Boston Globe the other day that, the Red Sox might be interested in moving Xander Bogaerts over to second base, and with Alex Cora there, that they could have some interest in Carlos Correa. That would worry me the most because that's the team that the Astros typically have to deal with in the American League when it comes to the postseason. So, obviously people could say the Yankees or some other teams, but, the Yankees haven't really been doing a whole lot lately. So for me, it's the Red Sox. We saw how tough a series that was. If Carlos is on their side, man, I would worry about him going to Boston.
Yeah, I agree. You can move Bogaerts to second or do whatever with him. You can, if he goes to Boston, and he loves Alex Cora, so they're best boys. I think that's a real possibility. I think the Yankees are a real possibility. But the team that I would hate most would be the Dodgers. I mean, if they get rid of Corey Seager and Carlos Correa goes there, you want to talk about how hypocritical They are. All of these teams, except maybe Boston, all of these teams would be hypocritical to sign Carlos Correa with all the hatred that they've given him. And then those fans will turn around and then they're going to cheer Carlos Correa in a Dodger uniform after all the business that they've been given. Yankees with the FL Tuve chant, they're going to cheer for Carlos Correa. But you know how hypocritical they'll be. They will cheer for him. I would love to see that in that I want to prove how hypocritical they are, but I would hate to see it because I just can't stand those teams anymore.
So the Dodger fans are going to look at the fake quotes from Carlos Correa on the Astro stationery and then cheer for him at the same time?
Yeah. Good luck with that, jerks.